Good morning, YouTube and the internet. Well, I go away for a few weeks, a couple of months, and look at what you lot have done with the planet. Oh, I've got a spider on my hat. You've gone and given it a bloody pandemic, and now I'm stuck at home with nothing better to do but to get in the shed and work on the car, which is a good thing. So, I'm down here in the shed. Boy, it's been a while. It's been a long time. It's been far too long. I was actually in here probably only 3 weeks ago. Maybe 4 weeks ago. At the time, stuff was going on. Personal stuff. Anyway, I came down here and I turned this thing over and did a compression test finally, and I had 150. So this is the first compression test I've done since reorienting the cam to the correct location. I have started the car since, but you know, it ran rubbish. So I did a compression test just as a quick mechanical check before getting ready to send this thing to a tuner. Now at that time there wasn't a lockdown. Fuck, there's some spiders in this bloody shed. Hopefully they're not poisonous ones. Basically, yeah, 5 cylinders with 150 psi and 1 cylinder, which was the number 1 with 100, which is a lot more than it had when the cam was in the wrong orientation, but not right. So I thought, it's buggered, I've done something wrong. Maybe I did damage something when I had it the wrong way, and somehow it's only damaged 1 cylinder instead of all, which is pretty much impossible. And then I did some reading about low compression on a single cylinder on an engine that's sat. It turns out there is a phenomenon where you can get stuck rings, so similar to a stuck apex seal in like a rotary, where it just gets jammed in a location where it shouldn't be. And there was a way around that, well, a way to test for that, basically. And that was to fill it with WD-40 or spray it into that cylinder or some other sort of lubricant. Give it some time to soak, and then do the compression test again. And I did that after a few hours soaking. I did the compression test again, and lo and behold, the number 1 cylinder pumped up to 125 psi. So that was a couple of weeks ago. I put more WD down the hole. I got the borescope out because I was checking for physical damage in the cylinder, in the bore, like scoring or something. You know, if I put a massive score down the side of the bore or something like that, which I hadn't. So I'm out here today to basically, I'm pretty convinced that was some sort of stuck ring scenario, because the compression went up 25% straight away. So basically I sprayed some more WD in there. It's sat there now for a couple of weeks because I've been kind of busy doing stuff with this whole pandemic thing. And also did a leak down, and so the leak down did confirm that all the air was going past the cylinder too, so I know it was not the head. But yeah, the other thing that I was thinking when I did the compression test is something I know I've done wrong. Remember me saying about the tune, thinking that's not right. Well, I've gone and bought a laptop because the one I had before was dead. I've got the wrong size injectors in this tune. I know it. And it twigs back to when I got them flow tested, and I thought they were 2000 ID injectors, Bosch ones. And the guy who cleaned them a you go back and watch the video, there's sort of a plug for that guy. He did a good job. He's always done a good job. He said, no, these are 1400s. And it didn't twig at the time, but I've definitely got 2000 OD injectors in this tune. So, let's fire this bad boy up. And see if fixing that makes a difference. Now I have also pumped out the old fuel that was in this thing and put fresh 20 litres of fresh E85 in it, so stale fuel won't be an issue. If this works, it's ready to go. It's ready to go to the tuner, and I'm pretty sure tuners are essential businesses, but with the whole corona thing, I'm out of work. So if this works, the car's going to sit here until such time as I have a job again before I can go committing the expenses to getting the tune. I could pay for the tune, that's not a problem. But in the current economic climate with work and stuff, work's a complicated situation where there's thousands of dollars owed to me, and I stopped work because I refused to work anymore until the bills were paid. It got pretty nasty. It seems to be coming to a slightly better resolution as of this morning. There's been some talk where there might be some mutual benefit to come out of it, and I might get paid either all or most of my money pretty soon, at which point in time I said I'd be happy to, you know, pick up work for them again. But at any point in time where I'm not paid within, you know, 7 days of the date, I'm going to cease work again, like I did last time. Well, it's actually 10 days, 10 working days. So they still owe me that, and at that point I stop work, because it's not work at that point, it's charity, and I'm not giving them my time for charity, I'm giving it to them for money. So I'm kind of technically unemployed, but I'm kind of technically not in a position to go looking for another job just yet. So anyway, we'll get this thing, if we can get this thing running smoothly, I can button it up and have it ready to go when the tuner, when it is ready for a tuner, which shouldn't be too long. So let's stick it out USB cord here. Well, after messing around with this for a little while, I had the wrong software installed. I had to get the right software, then I had to update it and mess around with it. I've ended up reflashing the ECU again, which has undone all the tuning that I attempted to do, and now I need to redo it. Now what I do have access to is someone with the tune on a computer, on an ECU, that they can show these displays. Hang on, where are we in setup? What's this one here? All of these variables in these menus. It's a basic one. Inputs, outputs. Making changes to some of these will force changes to others. I cannot for the life of me find a size for an injector in any of those options either. So pretty sure I put an injector size in there, but maybe I was wrong. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring that bloke and I'm going to say, hey, can you go through those screens? Now his will be the same as my old one. Those photos for that were on the old laptop, basically, so I'm going to have to get him to load them remotely, take screenshots, email them or send them to me somehow, and then I'll emulate them again on the new tune and see if that's where I've gone wrong. I think that's the only thing I can do at the moment. But yeah, good news that compression's come up. I was hoping to get a video out today, but it doesn't look like I will, unless it's something else altogether. Well, I've been in here for about an hour and a half playing with this with my mate on the phone. The injectors would have been at 380 cc. Though I never bumped them up, so that's why it runs like a piece of shit. So happy days. What I do have now though is all of these tables to recreate. So I've been through a lot of these tables, but if you look here, I've got to sit here and manually enter all these in. The first two here are the fuel tables. The tables in here look nothing like that. If I go to here and go back up to the top to base, whoops, base, so this table here looks nothing like the table that was in it before for the tune. So not only was the injector size wrong, all of this stuff I did not adjust because I thought the base tune from Haltech would be good. And it's probably good enough to run it and drive it onto a trailer, to be honest, now that I've got the correct injector size in there. And that was in here. Injector flow rate 1400. I can't find anywhere else. If it is somewhere else in there, I can't find it. So I either didn't change it or I did change it, and if I did change it, it would have been 2000 before. Now it's 1400, it's the correct size, but I feel like I didn't change it because the way you change this is just by overriding it by typing over the top of it, which I didn't know, so I doubt that I could have done that before if I didn't know how to do it. So I got a lot of tables to fill in, several hundred data entry points to put in. I'll have a quick look in the YouTubes and the Googles and see if there's a quicker way, if I can do like extreme parameters and see if it brings it up to where I want it, sort of as a whole table, or if I've got to sit there and manually input them, because the small tables I've done over the phone with a mate with the tune that was on this before, and manually entered the data points, and then these big tables went, no, this is going to take too long. Just send me a screenshot of them all and I'll replicate them all. But yeah, it's going to take me a while. Any wonder these tuner guys get paid a lot of money. But A, they know what they're doing, and B, it just takes time. Let's see how we go. Well, I don't have every table right, but I've got all the big parameters sorted out. And I just did a comp test. That was at 150, it's just slowly leaking down in the time it took me to go over there and get the camera and stuff. So that is definitely was a problem, like a stuck ring or something that was letting the compression go by, because now I've got 150 psi on number one as well, so I'm even across the board, so I'm very happy about that. I'm so happy, in fact, I'm going to start it, and I reckon it's going to run really well, and I'm going to feel really stupid for such a silly little thing in the tune, but hey, lessons learned. So just move forward, and it all means that this should all work. I'm not as retarded as I thought, mechanically, with my fingers at least, apart from that thing that I did put on completely wrong. But yeah, I'm going to slam in the plugs, put the coils in, put the loom on it. Yeah, that's all I need to do. Kick it in the guts. Okay, we're all buttoned away with coils and plugs. All I've got to do now is start it. So, first thing I need to do is turn the injectors back on. Enable, apply, okay. ECU must be rebooted, that's fine. This should start, and it should run relatively well. almost. Come on. Plenty of oil pressure. Oh, couldn't do that before. Fuel map's still all jacked up. It's idling. Turn it off for a second. It's idling much different to before. Before it wouldn't come below 2,500. That time it was actually idling down, like in a few hundred RPM range. Not as responsive as I'd like. This belt is still a pain in the ass. It could be timing because I've had this off and on a couple of times. In fact, I get the timing light just over there somewhere. It reset this timing to where it should be. But yeah, on a whole, that is a success as far as I'm concerned. It's fired up again, and I think it won't take much tinkering to tidy that up and get it running right and have it ready for the tuner, which I don't think it's far away from. So that's excellent. It starts and runs again, which it did before, but that's way better than it was. This belt was leaking lead is a pain in the ass. I need to get that fixed ASAP because it leaks straight onto this belt or it gets thrown on there by the fan, and then it starts squealing. Minor issue. Yeah, happy days. I'll chuck this together. I'll get this up today. I'm going to have bugger all to put up during this coronavirus outage. Which is a real shame because everyone's stuck at home doing nothing but watching YouTube videos, and I've got nothing to put up. I'm thinking I might download iRacing and actually put up some iRacing gaming footage. Seems like way worse drivers have way more subs than I do. So I can't see why not. Maybe I'll try it out. Give me your opinion in the comments if you want to see me do some sim racing and a little real racing now that this is sort of running again, and I'll have the time to sort of tinker and get it finished, but there's no real racing happening at the moment. So you let me know in the comments below, and I'll probably ignore whatever you say, but feel free to have your say. Like, you're entitled to your opinion, I'm entitled to ignore it. Alright, see you later. That's awesome. I'm very happy. I'm going to start it again. Well, that's that for today. Yeah, it fully runs way better than before. Not great, but still way better than before. And yeah, I'll have a play with those fuel maps and get them sorted and back to where they should be for the previous tune. See if that helps a little bit. I think it will. And then it's a case of buttoning up all the stuff I need to do here. So actually putting the cover back on here and connecting that. Setting the timing properly finally. Do up the belt tensioner on this, it's a bit loose. Just bits and pieces like that need to go through. Buttoning them up, yeah, buttoning up these sorts of things. There's one at the back there needs doing. I think there's a split down here as well. None of that's going to make it run real great, but yeah, look, get that down there, get that done right. So yeah, there's a few button up things, but it's running. So, and I may actually have work, like already. So if I secure work straight away and the tuner is an essential business, then I'll be getting this straight down there to be tuned. Yeah, I don't know if a racetrack is essential, if I can go and do a run-in at a track, not sure. If not, I'll just pay the tuner to do more running on the dyno. We'll see what happens. I mean, the world's going to hell in a handbasket right now, so it doesn't matter what I plan, really, does it? I'm not really in control of a lot, but I'm in control of this, and it's running, and I'm very happy. That really rough running was just a tune thing, and it's way better now. And it'll be better again tomorrow when I sit down and fill out all those tables from, every single thing and put it into them to exactly replicate the old tune on it, and which I know worked. I know it ran perfectly, so it should again. Anyway, gonna go and put this together and get this up tonight, so you guys can see that I haven't died. I didn't get the Rona, although I did get tested for it. I passed the test, came out negative for the Rona, which is it was scary, because I was very, very sick. They don't give you the test for nothing. I had probably the worst fever I've ever had in my life at that point in time, and ended up in hospital. That was like a week ago. Myself, having spent some time in the same hospital the week prior for a family member who was in intensive care after having emergency surgery. So I've been a busy boy, and I've spent far too much time in hospitals in the last few weeks to a month. But that's it. I'm gonna go now. I'm rambling. I've forgotten how to YouTube. Not that I ever really knew how to YouTube. But let me know about the sim racing idea. Once this is tidied up, I'm going to have nothing to put out now, and if I am home 7 days a week, I'm going to be doing something. So I think sim racing is not a bad interim idea. Probably better than working on the Falcon, although there's some jobs I have to do on the Falcon too. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I am out.